Recently, I started feeling fear, like I started experiencing this fear of failure. What if I fail? What if it doesn't work out? All those kind of stuff. And you know the funny thing, I used to think that I've already overcame this fear. I thought I finally trained my brain to be confident. Oh girl, go girl, you got this. You get me right. But I think I finally got to the realization that you can never overcome fear. Like basically, that means all these rich people that we're looking at, all these successful people, celebrities, business mogul, like call name it, every successful person that you know actually still experience fear of failure, especially. And this is like basically maybe is entirely part of life, and there is nothing you can do about it. We can't get rid of fear, but the only thing we can actually do on our side, I think, is to find a way to overcome the fear of failure, to overcome that fear. We have to find a way to work against that fear before the fear will work against us. So this is what we are going to be talking about today. Hey guys, guess what? We are finally in season 3, and this calls for a celebration. Drum rolls! I'm so excited. This thing is actually possible because of you guys. Everybody that is tuning in, sharing the podcast, leaving a review. I am so freaking grateful. And without you guys, wouldn't have been able to like reach and accomplish this milestone. But I promise you one thing, this season 3 is going to be a game changer. We are going to be bringing in incredible guests that will be sharing their experience, their knowledge. In fact, there will be a lot to go around. So if you're yet to subscribe to this podcast, make sure to subscribe right now on any platform you're listening from and follow the show. All right, let's quickly get into this episode. So the number one thing I believe you should do as a person when you are really scared of failure is to really understand the root causes of that fear of failure. That means you need to figure out what is actually making you scared. And this is why I always advise people to like get closer to themselves. I know you'll be like yourself, and you're already in yourself, right? But what I'm trying to say is that you have to pay attention to yourself. When you start paying attention to yourself, that is when you start figuring things about yourself. Have you ever noticed that as a person, you might just be realizing something about yourself after like 20 or 10 years later? Maybe people around you have already figured it out, but you're just figuring it out. So that is why it's very important for you to pay attention to yourself. Now, when you're paying attention to yourself, you now have to like look for a way to start understanding the root of the causes of that fear that you are feeling. That fear you are feeling is actually coming from somewhere. So basically, as I told you earlier, I suddenly started experiencing the fear of failure. And I had to like start talking to myself again. And I'm like, what is actually making me feel this way? So I have to like check my emotions, check the psychology that could be contributing to this fear of failure. So I then realized that my struggle is that I'm actually trying to be perfect in everything I'm doing, even without planning to do. You get me? Like if I'm creating content, I'm actually worried that I don't want any mistake. I don't want to sound some kind of way. I want everything to be legit perfect. You get? And because of that, like it's leading to me like being so scared of, oh, what if I fail? What if it doesn't turn out fine and whatever, right? So you have to actually like pay attention to your own self to figure out what is really causing this fear of failure. Until you get to the root of it, that is only when you can start, working against failure. Now, after doing that, you have to now check the impact of fear of failure on your decision making. I feel like the sad thing about being scared is that you will not just be scared, it's going to affect your thinking, it's going to affect your decision, it's going to affect how people see you because when you are really scared, like you act some kind of way, right? So you might just end up making a bad decision that you're going to regret. So you have to take your time to analyze how the fear of failure can be able to like lead to something that you don't want. So you can start avoiding them on time and take caution, like caution yourself, you get. So one thing I try to do is that whenever I'm scared, I try to calm down. Like whenever I have this fear in me, even though I'm not doing it as well as I should, you get. But whenever you feel that fear of like, oh, you're going to fail, it's not going to work out, take a deep breath, just calm down and relax. Tell yourself some nice things Like on a note, what I normally tell myself is that, why am I even worrying? I'm not the one that brought myself to this earth. God got me 100%. You get me? So this kind of things can actually like help you calm down. The third thing you should do is reframe failure as a learning opportunity. Yes, I know the society have made it look like when you fail, you're a nobody. You should be ashamed. You should be embarrassed. People are going to laugh at you. People are willing to laugh at you. But I feel like when you change your perspective from actually thinking that, oh, when you fail, you are finished, nothing can work out, you should bow your head in shame, to actually seeing it as a learning opportunity. Just like a few weeks ago, I was just thinking about something. There were like some things I failed at that helped me figure out something that I later succeeded at. So I feel like failure is a learning opportunity. It's going to help you understand that this strategy you applied didn't work out. Then you have to try another strategy. So you have to reframe your mindset from, thinking that failure means that you have failed and there's no other chance, to like seeing it as an opportunity. A lot of people have shared their story about how this strategy have helped them. So each time you fail, see that you did not fail, that you actually learned from that experience. I don't know whether you get me. The fourth thing you should look at is building resilience and mental toughness. We already know that life can be difficult. Life is not fair. Life is not fair to anybody, right? But you have to actually like start learning how to build resilience, be strong, be courageous. You know how to control your mental state to be able to like be solid in any kind of situation. I've seen people, when you are scared, when you have that fear in you, if you cannot like control yourself and control your mental state at that moment, you might end up making a bad decision, like I said earlier, or even worsen the case. So many people react too quickly to something because they don't have that composure. Something that maybe the issue was in 10% could actually increase to a 50 because of their reaction. So that is why it's also very important for you to build resilience, to be able to like endure, for you to be able to like, overcome at the end of the day. So you have to take your time and do these things, like be mindful, give yourself positive talks, and don't let yourself to be always stressed out, you get. So you need to calm down. This is going to help you control your mental state and build resilience. Now let's talk about overcoming fear of failure in public and personal perception. I feel like this is like the most difficult part of overcoming fear of failure. A lot of people can actually fail in peace if they are the only ones that know that they failed, right? But when they realize that a lot of people, their friends, their loved ones are going to know about it, or they already know about it, they find it very difficult to come back from that failure. They just want to like fall flat and remain there. They don't want to ever get up. So, but I don't really get, or maybe I can relate, but I feel like I have tried for myself to train myself to a point that I don't really want to care. It's not always easy to, act like you don't care. People's perception of you actually matters. But guess what? Everyone is failing, everyone is struggling. Like, as I said before, life is difficult for literally everyone. You get, life is not fair, so it's not just to you. So if you are holding yourself back and not wanting to get up and get out of that failure, that state of you failing because of like, oh, the public, what are they going to say, how do people think about you right now, you really have to understand that those people that you are thinking about also have their own struggles. So instead of you to focus on what they are going to think about you, you have to look at it the other way, which is like they also have a struggle that they are facing. Most times, people don't even have your time. A lot of people have a lot going on in their plate, right? So let's say someone actually like fell into the gutter on the road. There are lots of people rushing to the hospital, rushing to an interview, going to church. I mean, life is so busy. Is the way you react when you fell into that gutter that would even make people to understand that you actually fell into a gutter. People are busy. People are on their phones. People are thinking of like how to make money. People are thinking of how to like, make their life so much better. You are not their freaking problem. So If you are still struggling with failure because of what the public, what people around you are going to say, then that's not it. You have to really wake up. Nobody cares. And for real, nobody cares. Live your freaking life. So, and another thing that is actually sad is when you now surround yourself with the kind of people that will not make it easier for you to like get out of failure. So, I know some people that have sort of like their worst enemies as their friends, as their family members, literally whatever. But my point is that if you are going to like struggle against failure, for you to be able to overcome the fear of failure and all of that stuff, you need to have positive minded people. You need to have people that legit care about you. So they will use the energy towards supporting you instead of laughing at you or trying to like make you feel like a failure. Do you get? So regardless of how we shouldn't care about people's perception of us, it's very important that you surround yourself with amazing people that even when you fail, they're going to lend you their hands for you to get back on track. You get me? So this is actually something that works perfectly well for literally everyone. That brings us to the next one, which is like the role of mentors and support system. Having a support system, as I said, surrounding yourself with positive people, people that care about you, people that cannot wait to see you win. You get me? It's just like right now, I can tell people that are really excited for me. No matter how much I feel like I'm failing, if I tell them, look at, I don't think I'm good at this, I don't think, in fact, I want to quit, I don't even know what to do, all of that kind of stuff, they will start reminding me of the things that I've been able to achieve and, encourage me, tell me that I got this and all of that stuff. So we need to actually have mentors around us. And when we are talking about mentors, mentors doesn't have to be that you have an 80-year-old man or 80-year-old woman like that in your life to mentor you. Mentor can actually be your friend, you get. You can have a mentor in your friend, you can have a mentor in your family. The point is that you need to have a mentor and a support system that will see you through anytime you are struggling with failure and all of that stuff. So at the end of the day, we all need mentors. We need a support system, people that cannot wait for you to win, people that are always going to be there to hold your hands, regardless of whatever you are experiencing in life. Then my bonus tip is that take out some time to do self-care, to journal, to meditate, listen to good music, and always try to like focus your mind on the bright side of life. Regardless of how tough life can be, life is also very, very beautiful. So it's always going to depend on what you decide to focus on. So make sure to start focusing on the positive and understand that failure is a part of life, but you can overcome it at every point in time if you practice these tips that I just shared with you. Do you find this episode insightful or interesting? Please let us know in the comments or leave a review, and also make sure to share this episode with one of your friends at least. This is how our community will get to grow and continue to grow. Thank you for listening. See you in the next episode.